Hello students, welcome to Chemistry online classes. In today's session, we'll begin with the chapter 2, they are acids, bases and salts. Today I am here for you to introduce the common things we are mainly used in our day-to-day life. Okay, so the chapter 2 is very interested to know that what are acids, bases and salts. Hello students, here you have a list of items I have purchased for you to identify the presence of salts, the presence of acids, bases and all. Okay, here you can see the tomato sauce. Here you can see on the top it has written oxalic acid is present. So one more acid is present that you have to identify later from the prescription. Okay, so this I have separated. The substance which is having sour in taste I group together. Any substance having sour in taste? Yes, vinegar also can be grouped together. Here you can see unripened mango. This also will be coming together. So anything else? Yes, a lemon. This also grouped together. The 4 items I have grouped together. Here you can see the tomato sauce, vinegar, mango and a lemon. Okay, these all are sour in taste, so that I grouped together. Here you can see the substances that Colgate, a soap and a liquid soap hand wash. These items I have separated together because they are having bitter in taste and feel soapy touch. And here you can see the 3 items. Who will come together? Yes, here you can see salt. And here you can see piece of chalk. It is calcium carbonate. This I have grouped together. And who is odd man? Yes, this sugar. This sugar is odd man. Thus you can keep it out separately. Okay. So children, you can see that the 3 groups. The all substances which contains acids. Here the substances which contains base. Here the substances which are salts. So why I group together means these all contains acids, because of that it contains sour in taste. These all are coming in the category of bases. They are bitter in taste and all when you touch it you can see that a soapy touch. A soapy touch substances are bases. And here you can see what? Yes, salts like calcium carbonate and the sodium chloride salt. Now I hope that you got a small idea regarding acids, bases and salts. Okay students, now let's concentrate on acids. So acids can be mainly classified into 2. The first classification is the mineral acid or inorganic acid, and the second classification is the organic acid. Okay, the mineral acids are also known as inorganic acids. Now let's study on the mineral acids. So mineral acid or inorganic acid is mainly obtained from minerals which are present in the earth, and these acids are highly dangerous to handle. Okay, you can see the king of acids which are mainly used in laboratory. These all are the laboratory acids. They are mineral acids. So hydrochloric acid is HCl, sulfuric acid H2SO4. He is the king of all acids. Nitric acid is HNO3 and carbonic acid is H2CO3. I hope that you will know how to write the chemical formula. Hydrochloric acid can be write, the valency of hydrogen is 1, the valency of chlorine is 1. So when you crisscross, you will get HCl. Like same way, sulfuric acid, the valency of hydrogen is 1, the valency of sulfate is 2. So when you crisscross, you will get H2SO4. And the nitric acid also, the valency of hydrogen is 1, the valency of nitrate is 1. So when you crisscross, you will get HNO3. And carbonic acid also, the valency of hydrogen is 1, the valency of carbonate is 2, and when you crisscross, you will get H2CO3. These are the examples of mineral acids. Okay students, the second classification is the organic acids. So children, the organic acids are mainly obtained from living things. And these organic acids are weak acids. They are not that much dangerous like mineral acids. Okay, the examples. From ants' body, you will get formic acid. The chemical formula of formic acid is HCOOH. Now, the vinegar contains another acid, that is acetic acid. So, the acetic acid chemical formula is CH3COOH. Now, the tomato is containing oxalic acid with the chemical formula C2H2O4. Students, how will you identify acids, bases and salts? Okay, let's study the identification of acids, bases and salts. You have learned so many examples of acids, right? Yes. If you take any acid like sulfuric acid, if you take nitric acid, or if you take hydrochloric acid. So how will you identify this is an acid? So children, you can say that if you take an acid and dissolve it in water, you will get a H plus ion or H3O plus ion. So all acids contains hydrogen, right? This hydrogen is replaceable, which means that which dissociates in water and form H plus or H3O plus. If a substance produces H plus or H3O plus, you can confirm that it is an acid. That is the first identification. All acid contains replaceable hydrogen atom. Replaceable hydrogen atom or H plus ions. H plus ion. And the second identification, acids are having sour in taste. Sour in taste. This is the second identification of acids. Okay. Then what are bases? So bases are the metal oxides or metal hydroxides. Bases are the metal oxides or metal hydroxides. Metal oxides or metal hydroxides are generally called bases. What is common present in bases? Yes, here you can see the best example, that is NaOH is a base, strong base. And potassium hydroxide, this is also a strong base. Okay, sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxides are strong bases. Strong bases. What is there commonly present in those two? Yes, bases have OH minus ion. OH minus ion means which dissociates in water and form hydroxide ion. Hydroxide ion. Okay, and what is the taste of this base? Bases are, yes, just opposite to acid. What? Bitter in taste. Bases are bitter in taste. Okay, and the metal oxides also bases. If the calcium oxide is a base, ammonium hydroxide is a base. Ammonium hydroxide is also a base. All metal oxides and metal hydroxides are bases. Okay, and what are salts? What are salts? Salts are obtained by the reaction with the acids and the base. Acids and bases reacts to form salts. If you take an example, hydrochloric acid reacts with sodium hydroxide, a base. HCl is acid, NaOH is a base. Both reacts to form what? NaCl salt and water. This reaction is called a neutralization reaction. This reaction is called a neutralization reaction because after the reaction, a neutral water is produced and a neutral salt also produced. So the acidity and basicity will be neutralized. Okay, salt is obtained by the reaction of acid and base. So this reaction is called a neutralization reaction. Students, first let us squeeze lemon into the water. I have squeezed the lemon. The lemon contains which acid? The lemon contains citric acid. So I have stirred it properly. So you can see that the lemon is completely soluble in water. So most of the acids are completely dissolved in water, or you can say that acids are soluble in water and form H plus ions. Okay. Here let's check the solubility of base. Here I have taken the Colgate. Okay, Colgate contains a base. Okay, let me stir this properly. Okay, stir it well. Okay, after stirring you can see that which is not soluble. Okay, which is not soluble in water. Okay, which means that bases are not soluble, but the bases like sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxides are soluble in water. So the bases which are soluble in water are known as alkalis. Okay. Finally, let's understand the solubility of salts. First, let us take a chalk powder. This chalk powder, that chalk piece I have crushed. Okay, I have added into the water, and a few pinch of salt I have added. This is a common table salt I have added. Okay, I have added. Okay, let's see the chalk piece, the chalk powder. Okay, chalk powder, and after some time just keep on stirring. The sodium chloride salt is completely dissolved in water, but here you can see the chalk powder, that is calcium carbonate, which is not dissolved completely. Okay, and which is insoluble in salt. So salts, some are soluble in water and some are insoluble in water. Okay. Okay students, finally let's understand what are indicators. Indicators are the substances which are used to identify the presence of acids and bases. In the lower classes you will learn some examples of indicators. The China rose petals are the best natural indicator. Turmeric is another example of a natural indicator. Okay, and here we are going to study some synthetic indicators. The first test you can do it by using litmus paper, and the second you can do it by taking the indicators. They are phenolphthalein and methyl orange. here we have two indicators, methyl orange and phenolphthalein. Let's understand the acid and bases by using this indicator. First, let us add methyl orange to the hydrochloric acid. So that time you can see first change, you can see hydrochloric acid's color turns to pale red. The base sodium hydroxide has a color of golden yellow. Okay, and now let's have the next indicator, that is phenolphthalein. Okay, first let us add a colorless phenolphthalein into sodium hydroxide base. When you add, look at the pink color. Then if you add the phenolphthalein into acid, you can see it is colorless. Okay, what is the color of phenolphthalein in base? It is pink. And take some acid and add to the base. Here you got the pink color because of the base, because if you have added phenolphthalein to the base, that time you got pink color. If you add a few drops of hydrochloric acid again, let us see what changes happens. Will they change the color? Let's slowly add the hydrochloric acid into the base. That time will the color disappear? Yes, the slowly the color of the base disappears. Okay, you can see the slowly the color of the base disappears. Finally, it turns colorless. Okay, so in acid, the phenolphthalein is colorless. Okay, now let's add some acids into this, a few of the solution into this sodium hydroxide. That time let's see any changes happens. Let's slowly just shake it and just observe what happens. If you pour it continuously, the acids into this particular base, let's see the color change will happen or not. Will it undergo any particular change? Let's observe slowly. Okay, if you add the solution again, if you add that mixture again to the sodium hydroxide solution, will it undergo any particular changes? No, it remains as such. Okay, so what you understand? In methyl orange, the methyl orange indicator turns pale red when you add to the acid. Okay.